1996. My God, what a year. That was 25 years ago. I started college. We lost Tupac Shakur in that year. Boris Yeltsin was re-elected. We had the Olympic Games in Atlanta where Ali lit the torch. Also, the Nintendo 64 was released. And it released the Super Mario 64 game, which proved to be one of the most successful video games of all time. And more importantly than that, there was a host of brilliant films. Some well-known, some that were unknown, that flew under the radar that were released in 1996. And I'm going to be reviewing them. The ones that I saw and that I personally enjoyed. So let's kick it off with my first film from 1996, Broken Arrow. Let's do it. Broken Arrow was released in 1996, was directed by action master John Woo, was written by Graham Yost, who also wrote Speed. It stars John Travolta, Christian Slater and Samantha Mathis. In this tale, we see renegade fighter pilot Vic Deakins, played by John Travolta, go rogue and steal 2 nuclear weapons whilst on a training exercise with his co-pilot Riley Hale, played by Christian Slater. When Hale is betrayed by Vic Deakins, he sets out to stop his former mentor, and he's assisted by a park ranger, played by Samantha Mathis. As always guys, thanks for supporting this channel. Please keep on supporting it. If you are new to this channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button so you can follow this channel. Hit the alarm bell as well so you can get notifications from me when my video is going to be uploaded, and give this video a like as well to help the channel grow. The 90s, for films and action films in particular, had a particular formula. Over-the-top performances from the villain, great action set pieces, less reliance on visual effects, and more reliance on practical set pieces. Broken Arrow is a film that ticks all of those boxes, but more important than that, Broken Arrow is an underrated film. Whilst it received mixed reviews, it doesn't get enough credit. This is a thoroughly entertaining film from start to finish. This is one of those films that you check your brain at the door with. This is John Travolta's movie. John Travolta had a career resurgence. He did Pulp Fiction in 1994, which was Oscar nominated for. He did Get Shorty in 1995. And then he was advised by Quentin Tarantino to do an action film. And who better to do an action film with than the action master himself, John Woo. And Broken Arrow would mark the first of 2 collaborations between John Woo and John Travolta. The second will be Face Off, that was done in 1997. Broken Arrow may not be as well known as some of John Woo's other works. John Woo is a fantastic action director who has taken the action genre to an art form. His utilization of 2-handed gun combat, death scenes, utilization of camera work has made him one of the best. And whilst Broken Arrow has some of the trademarks of John Woo in terms of slow-mo action set pieces, it is not as visceral or as brutal as some of his earlier works. But there is still more than enough to keep hardcore fans entertained. This was the second film that John Woo released to try and crack the US market. His first was Hard Target. Broken Arrow is a very entertaining watch, thanks to John Travolta's performance, who is incredibly over the top as Vic Deakins. John Travolta ate up every scene that he was in, and you could tell he was having fun. He had the right amount of charm and the right amount of menace, and has some of the best lines of dialogue within the film. Hush! Hush! You also have Christian Slater as Riley Hale, and Christian Slater was reliable, and I can't really fault his performance, because for what he was given, he was entertaining enough. I didn't buy the partnership between he and Samantha Mathis in the film. Whilst these 2 are good actors, their relationship, it just didn't work for me. And Christian Slater would also reunite with the writer of Broken Arrow, Graham Yost, a few years later in a film called Hard Rain. And that would also reunite him with Morgan Freeman, with whom he starred in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Broken Arrow is a visceral film and very fast-paced. Graham Yost, who wrote Speed, also demonstrated that same level of frantic energy. And the same problem that Speed had is the same problem that Broken Arrow has, is that there were a few plot holes and very little backstory to some of our villains, just to get a greater understanding of why they were doing what they were doing. You see Howie Long, who plays Kelly. There's no story as to why he turned rogue and joined Vic Deakins' team. Bob Gunton, who's a very reliable character actor who starred in such hits as Shawshank Redemption, Demolition Man, he's Pritchard, he's the backer. There's very little backstory to him also. Broken Arrow has a host of excellent supporting actors, from Delroy Lindo, Kurtwood Smith, Frank Whaley, Vondie Curtis Hall. Broken Arrow has a lot of excellent set pieces in this film. Brilliant car chases, some great shootouts, and an excellent finale aboard a train. Add to that Hans Zimmer's fantastic musical score. And Hans Zimmer, he can do no wrong when it comes to musical compositions. As entertaining as this film is, there are some silly moments. One particular sequence is where we see Riley Hale come into a first contact with a park ranger. And they get into a tussle, they fall down some sort of mountain, and they get into a standoff where she's holding a knife to him and he's holding a gun. Silly. Broken Arrow also suffers from continuity issues. One sequence where we see a brilliant shootout on a helicopter versus a train, where Riley Hale shoots at Vic Deakins. Riley Hale clearly shoots Vic Deakins in his arm, and he's wounded. But then when Hale jumps on board the train and tells Vic Deakins it's over, he says, you know what, you want to stop the bomb? You're going to have to fight me for it. Deakins takes off his jacket and engages in hand-to-hand combat, and the bullet wound has clearly disappeared. How the hell did they get away with that? You have one of the most laughable and one of the most over-the-top death sequences ever, in which we see our hero Riley Hale jump off the train, defuse the nuclear warhead, and we see that the carriage that they were fighting in crashes into the remainder of the train. It dislodges the nuclear weapons and flies perfectly at Deakins, sending him through the train and crashing into a fuel tanker and killing him. Absolutely ludicrous, but absolutely hilarious. And I remember when I saw it in the cinema, I found this incredibly funny also. One notable music composition that I enjoyed was the guitar, played by Dwayne Eddy. This was pretty much Vic Deakins' theme tune throughout the whole film. It was such a cool tune. And then 1 year later, it was used in Scream 2. Broken Arrow at 25 years old has aged very well. If you've got an hour and 40 minutes to spare, I recommend that you watch it. Whilst it may not rate high on some John Woo fans as some of his best work, I'd certainly say that this is far better than some of his other efforts, i.e. Paycheck and even Mission Impossible 2. So I'll give this one a very strong 8 out of 10. So guys, that's my review. As always, thanks for supporting this channel. Keep on supporting it because there's going to be more reviews coming. This was my 200th review. Can you believe it? So if you like what you see, I want you to hit that subscribe button so you can follow this channel. Hit the alarm bell as well so you can get notifications from me when my video is going to be uploaded. Give this video a like as well to help the channel grow. I want you to leave your comment with what is your favourite John Woo film. Comment down below and I shall see you all in the next film review. Take care.
I say, goddamn, what a rush!